my favorite tool in the whole wide world. It is the Misty, and I don't really know what I did without it before it came out. So you will take your Misty tool, and it comes with the magnets so that it holds down your paper. Now I have already pre-cut my bookmarks. The bookmarks are 2 3/4 inches by 6 inches. So these are my outer layer, and I've cut the white inner layer to 5 3/4 by 2.5. Oh, excuse me, by 2 inches. So when you're doing that, I also corner punched each of them to start off. Now then you take your Misty, you place your bookmark where you'd like it, put the magnets down, get them to stay without attacking each other, and then you choose your stamps. Now for these bookmarks, I've chosen the Sweet and Sassy stamps. They are actually bookmark stamps, and you can choose which ones you'd like to work with first. Best thing with the Misty is you can place it down exactly where you want it on your paper. Put your magnet down so it stays. Close it, it will pick up and you're going to be in the exact same spot every time, which is wonderful. I use the Stays On ink. I like it because I can then add color without it running. Now, what I do love about this is you ink this right on up. You close it, press down, and I always use my scissors to kind of make sure that it's staying in its spot. Sometimes it likes to pick it up with it. And if it's not dark enough, which this one I don't think is, I can add more ink and do it again, and we will be in exactly the same spot, so we won't end up looking as though it's completely out of focus. Take my other magnet and stick it down here. That might help a slight bit. My magnets have cracked over time. And we press down again. Once again, I like to put my scissor in there, just kind of hold it down because it does pick up with it. And it's a little darker. And you can do this over and over until you get it to the darkness that you want for your bookmark. And so we are now ready to be coloring and layering our bookmarks. All right, we're going to just quickly put our bookmarks onto their backing paper. So in order to do that, we've got our 4 blue pieces of backing paper, and I like to just change it up a little bit and not have them all flat. So what I did was I took the 1 3/8 hole punch and I cut out a circle out of there. Using that circle, I placed it on 2 of our bookmarks. And don't be afraid because we're going to be covering that right on up. That just gives us a little bit more variety in our bookmarks. So then you're going to take your bookmarks, make sure you put enough tape on the back of them, and you are going to layer them onto your blue background. I do like the Copic markers, so I will be using those to give our background to our bookmark. Now as you're coloring your bookmarks, I find sometimes you just don't have the stamp that you need. And so for our owl, I'm just going to create a tree using my Copic markers. And it's very simple to create a tree, just it's the lines down, as I always explain to my students in school to make a tree, you just make these because that gives you your branches. And this way our owl is not just hanging out into the middle of our bookmark. He has a place to sit down and be comfortable. So it gives us a little spot for him. And you can just put that in with the brown marker. I'm just coloring this in quickly for you. But to give our tree some depth, we'll add some more color to it, a different color, giving it some layers. And we can also just boop, right up to the words, but just not covering the words. And if you want some smaller branches coming out, you can get some smaller branches that are just coming out of our tree. Then we will, of course I've lost my top, oh here it is. And we can just add a little bit of layering in here to just give us some depth on our tree. And it allows just for different colors, makes our tree more interesting. Now you can also then give your tree some leaves if you'd like. Take a forest green, just perhaps just a few little leaves onto our tree, just giving your bookmark a few more color. And it doesn't have to go overboard, just a few little green spots. Again, you just kind of make ovals. And makes it a happy little tree, as Bob used to always say when doing painting. And so we have our bookmarks are almost set to go. All right, now we have gone back to our card, our base card, and I've cut a piece of ribbon that is approximately 17.5 inches long, and that's going to be the ribbon that shuts our card. So I'm just going to kind of get it to a spot where it's even on both sides, and we can fix that a little bit later. But once you've got that, I then cut a piece of paper, the opposite. If you'll remember, let me just show you quickly. The back of ours used the lined paper, and the front was the letters. And our paper that I've cut is 1 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, and it's going to go on the, you know what, I'm going to do the back first, so I apologize. We're going to flip that right on over. We're going to do the back section first. Keep our ribbon in line. Okay, so right there on the center, I have our lined paper, and I'm just going to put this down right smack in the middle. That's going to keep our ribbon on there. Nice. And then we're going to turn over and we're going to be ready. Now, we do not want to put our paper on top of our ribbon here, because that would end up closing our card up completely. So what we are going to end up doing is we're going to leave our card like this, and we're going to take a small magnet, tiny magnet. We'll then go into the middle of our front cover, and then we will take our embellishment paper and put that right on top of that magnet, and you're going to push down right on there all the way across so that the magnet is underneath that lined paper. Now the next step for this is going to be our closure, and we're going to want our magnet, our other magnet, to go onto the ribbon. So what I have done is I have created a small embellishment. I took a little piece of paper. You can see it is 1 3/4 inches by 2 inches, and I just stamped out that entire stamp before, and I cut out the reed part of it. I then will take my ribbon, kind of feel around and find where that magnet goes, and then you're going to place your magnet in the opposite spot. So just get that going here. Find where it goes. Okay. Now, in order to get your magnet to stay, I use this heavy-duty red tape. And what I have done is I have put it lengthwise on my reed embellishment. And the reason for that is so that it will take up the entire section of the ribbon also. And then what I'm going to do is take another piece and actually put it right over the magnet. You're going to close your card up. You're going to put the ribbon where you need it. Feel around for where that magnet is, and then place your embellishment on. And then I'd like to pull it off and kind of push it all on there so that you know that it is sticking onto the ribbon. So that once you've got it done, it will keep your card closed. All right, so then we just pull off and snap on and off. It's kind of a cool thing for your card. All right, we are now ready to put our card all together. And so you can see we have our opening, and we open up our card, and I have just put some embellishments in here. Basically, I just took some of our already used cardstock and cut it to different sizes, hole punched. I found another piece of ribbon that I could use, and you can decorate this however you see fit. And we are ready to insert our bookmarks. Sometimes I think it's kind of fun to take our ribbons for the bookmarks and the edges and take just a small pair of scissors and cut that V. Gives it that extra design on your bookmark. And you can use any paper here with this. You could do any design, so it doesn't have to be a school theme. If you have a child that likes trucks and likes to read about trucks, you could find truck paper. And your finished product. So you've got your completed product with your beautiful bookmarks, and it will be impressive for any person to receive.